His Twitter handle is Jake Sucky. All right. So the Halo esports scene isn't going well. I don't know about viewership numbers or anything. I don't know if it's like popular, but every single time there's a tournament, there's nothing but drama that follows because it's run pretty terribly, from what I understand. So the latest development is during this game, one of the players had a PC problem, so he literally couldn't even play in Game 5. So instead, they just gave the win to the other team because that guy's computer was fucking up. They didn't replay it. They didn't pause, even though they were alerted to the problem immediately. They just said, all right, the other team wins. And then they even replaced the PC afterwards because it was a legitimate PC problem. Now, it's not entirely Halo's fault. Apparently, according to which tweet? I think it's this one. Yeah. Apparently, the E United squad was given the option of replaying it after they were made aware that the other team's player couldn't really play, and they declined, saying they'll just take the win instead. So, great work, E United. What a grind. But also, entirely HCS fault for even that being a problem. A, having a problem with the PC during the biggest tournament, the only tournament for Halo, and B, not having rules in place where you could like replay or pause the match. Because they let them know immediately. They told admins immediately that their fifth player couldn't play. So, there's Halo for you. I haven't read their statement yet though, so let's take a peek. During Game 5, a player in Sin caused the disconnect of his own headset. The players were instructed to continue playing while the referee supported the player in troubleshooting. The players of Sin stopped playing and went on to lose the game. Per Section 11, E and D of the HCS Handbook, in the event of an issue, players are expected to immediately raise their concern and continue to play their match unless otherwise instructed by a referee. Situations in which the administration may deem a game restart to be appropriate include, but are not limited to, critical malfunction of provided equipment or occurrence of a major bug. Because this was a player-caused issue, a restart is not appropriate and the result of the game is final. Regarding the claims of malfunctioning PC, the referees were made aware of this after the players stopped playing and stood up. As a result, administration was unable to verify the claims. As is common practice, administration swapped the PC despite the unverified claims. What a good look. Thanks to resub Sagacious, Ronnie, Chatty, Sherwood, No Idea, Luca, Pinding, and Yeet. The Prime Midnight. So, they can't even run their own tournaments very well. And that's all they have, because Jesus Christ, that game is flatlining hard. No content, no updates, nothing. Just more and more bad decisions from 343. They just cannot get it together. And then Crobcat posted this today. In remembrance of the time when Halo wasn't dog shit. Thanks to Tier 1 GW. And the gift sub Meadow. Thanks, Meadow. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Apparently Forge is actually coming out this year. I thought for sure they'd delay it because they don't follow their roadmaps very well. I'll believe it when I see it. For now, I'm going to remain skeptical. What's the point in learning if you aren't going to do anything with that knowledge? I don't know, man. Ask them. They haven't even learned like the most basic protocol for like running an esports event, even though they put such a huge emphasis on it. Like, I don't know. Every decision that you can make, they make the worst one. Like at every single forked path, they choose the worst path. And I don't get how that's even possible. It's almost more impressive that way. Because off the top of my head, I can't think of a single good thing they've done so far. There's Resub Golden. The grappling hook. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess that's a cool mechanic. I'm talking like overall with the franchise, though. But yeah, I mean, the grappling hook is a very cool mechanic. I do like that. Thanks, Risa Beefy. The Halo Championship Series and 343 are not the same. They oversee it. What are you talking about? It's their game. It's their esports scene. I understand it's not like the 343 team itself, but it is still theirs. I don't think they're completely disconnected from it. Didn't they write the rule book? The HCS handbook? He's a prime Oscat, and they give sub Sam. And resub Mitch. Why did Bungie sell Halo? I think they just wanted to move on. I think, if I remember correctly, the big thing was Bungie wanted to make other IP, but Microsoft wanted them to stick with just Halo. So they made Halo Reach just because they had to. And as like the final oorah. I'm going off memory though, so that could be wrong. Thanks, resub Stellar. And that's when 343 was formed. He's a tier 1 McChrist. Reach was good, yeah. I enjoyed Reach. It was fun. Thanks to the resub Gamer Juice. Do you think it's the management of 343 or are they just not talented? On that front, I can't decide. Obviously, the management's bad, and it's also really hard to have consistent management with all of your top level managers and top level positions constantly leaving the company. So that one's not really on the employees. But you have to wonder how it could be so difficult to roll out the simplest fixes for problems. And like the implementation of simple game modes that have been around in Halo for 20 years. So it has to be a combination of the two, like inexperienced devs and bad management. Probably hard to hire devs because of the Slipstream engine. Isn't it called Slipspace? Wouldn't put it on the devs themselves. Well, I don't put it all on the devs themselves. I think the bigger problem is the management, but I definitely think there is a level of inexperienced devs. Like, I think there is absolutely no reason why they couldn't have got split screen out, or why it took them, 6 months to add 2 new game modes. Like, I feel like even with the worst management of all time, they'd want that to roll out as quickly as possible, and that just didn't happen. So I really do think that there is a level of just inexperience from the dev team. He's a tier 1 godly. "343 officially said it canceled work on the feature to better allocate resources to future content for Halo Infinite, which recently saw its 3rd multiplayer season delayed until March 2023. Cool. Hey, Jay. Yeah, that future content, man. One day. One day. You expect the future to be now? I expect the future to be at least a year. The game shipped bare bones with the promise that content was going to be fed to it consistently, which has not been the case. Season 2 has been is 10 months long. So far, I think they've only added, 2 new maps? They have a few new game modes. Still nothing of what they promised. So yeah, I think it should be probably like a year would be reasonable. for things that they initially said were going to be ready at launch. Keep in mind, this game was somehow supposed to come out in like 2020. I would love to see the state the game was in 2020. Holy fuck. These are the bits. Jebs. That rumor has been debunked. Everything I've read has denied them moving to Unreal Engine. I have not seen a single actual confirmation of that. I've only seen debunking. They poured $500 million into the Slipstream or Slipspace engine. They're not gonna just abandon it. It's not happening.